last couple of weeks because we are preparing something newer and better and upgraded in terms of our communications with you. This will be the last one in the kind of the old format. From next week onwards, we're going to upgrade the update, and we're actually going to call it the MAGFAST upgrade. And I'll give you some more details about that when we kick off next week. But very broadly, we feel that one of the most important, maybe the most important thing we have is the relationship with the good folks who have, like you, who've chosen to support us on this journey. And we should do more in terms of showing you what we're doing, explaining what we're doing, teaching you, teaching's a terrible word, isn't it? But allowing you to discover with us some of the mistakes that we've made, some of the successes that we've had. And so we're putting together a more formal, a lightweight but formal little production system to pull this together. So that will start off from next week, the MAGFAST upgrade, upgrading, telling you how we work to upgrade the business, upgrade the design of the products, upgrade the experience that you have with us, and maybe even upgrade your lifestyle just a little bit for making us a part of your life. This week, however, I wanted to follow up on something I promised you last time we spoke, which, if you remember, I was on a walk nearby here, and I said we were just about to go into a weekend seminar, a virtual seminar called PLF Product Launch Formula. And I think I also mentioned that it was the name wasn't very good because PLF Product Launch Formula, it's really a launch formula because it's suitable for any kind of endeavor that you have at all, any kind of endeavor. Many people want to write a book. It's perfect for a book launch. Yes, if you have a physical product, as MAGFAST does, it's fantastic for that. If you teach yoga and you want to launch a new yoga class, perfect for that. If you have a fundraising effort coming up, excuse me, if you have a fundraising effort coming up, you want to raise money to fix the church roof, PLF is ideal for that. And I thought I would just teach you some of the outline materials. There's a gentleman called Jeff Walker who has perfected this over the last couple of decades. Everything I'm about to say, I want to credit to him and the folks who work with him. But I think it might be helpful for you. And if you'll stick with me over the next few minutes, I've got a couple. In fact, this I'm going to say right at the beginning. September the 10th, 4 p.m. Eastern. Please write it down right now. September the 10th, 4 p.m. Eastern. Please put that into your calendar right now. Or scribble it onto a piece of paper. I'll tell you why in just a minute, but let's get that date marked out right away. So, you really want to focus on this if any of the kind of projects that I've just mentioned are in your bag. Let me take you through this step by step. And I've got a couple of notes on the screen here, and I don't have my glasses on, so forgive me peering at it from time to time. The challenge with launching any kind of new endeavor is to get people's attention. A guy I used to work with 25 or 30 years ago, who's now very senior in the advertising industry, says, we live in an attention economy. The thing that is hardest for anybody to do in their personal life or in their professional marketing life or whatever is to get other people's attention, because people are just flooded with advertising and messages and stupid videos like this on the internet, and the Netflix and the HBO Max and the Quibi. Does anyone know what Quibi is? There's all of these calls on people's attention. Oh, plus the old-fashioned things like, friends and family and your kids. And so actually just getting enough of anybody's attention to talk about the fact that the church needs a new roof or that you're launching your yoga class is difficult. The other thing that is hard about getting some new project out there is that there's this thing called the planning fallacy, which is that even the most experienced folks at planning, the kind of civil engineers who design building bridges and have been doing this their whole careers and have billion-dollar budgets, somehow always manage to underestimate how hard something is. One of the best companies in the world at the moment, Tesla, doing incredible work. I think most people don't realize they're at least 7 or 8 years ahead of everybody else. Not just my opinion, but that is my opinion, because they've just understood where the future is at a much deeper level and have made those investments. But still ship their products years late in many cases. even with huge resources behind them, which of course you and I generally don't have when we're working on one of our projects. So there's this thing called the planning fallacy, makes it very difficult. Planning fallacy is particularly acute often with crowd-funded efforts, because MAGFAST, as you know, started out crowdfunding, is still supported entirely by customers at the moment. We hope to change that by getting more formal investors in at the appropriate time. But at the moment it's entirely supported by customers. But most folks who go into crowdfunding, and I've now been involved in it since 2013, so where are we? That's 7 years now. So I've got a bit of experience at it, but many folks coming into it are new, and so the planning fallacy is even more of a challenge. And the classic mistake that people make in launching an endeavor is thinking that just putting up a website is enough, which is the equivalent of just saying, just printing, in the old days you print a flyer, right? Well, it's not enough just to print the flyers. You have to get the flyers up around the community. It's not enough just to put up the website. You've got to have people visiting the website. And of course, there's nothing more disheartening than putting your heart and soul into some new endeavor, putting everything you've got into it, making it perfect, and then nobody shows up. The party where nobody shows up. So I'm going to take you through, as I say, mainly Jeff's work today on PLF, the launch formula. But in the coming weeks, I will unfold how our thinking has developed in all areas of the business. Maybe there's some stuff that's helpful for you. If not, please invite, whether or not it's helpful for you, please invite friends and family, anyone you know who's an entrepreneur, to come join us. We're going to, we really want to put together something that is special and can make a real difference for you in the coming weeks. So, without further ado, let me take you quickly through PLF. So I'll write it up here. I'm not going to write the word product out because, as I said earlier on, it can be used for launching all kinds of the launch formula. Well, I guess I should let me credit the man. Let's put Jeff Walker on here. Okay, Jeff Walker. And you're going to want to get the book Launch on Amazon, Launch, and and look up Jeff Walker. I think it's jeffwalker.com, and highly recommend his products, his trainings. Fantastic virtual seminar the other day that I attended. It's the first time I've attended one of these. We were in a Zoom room with, I think it was 49 people per page. Okay, so you could imagine your screen with 49 people on it. Then you could swipe through, I think, 4 or 5 pages of that. And that was just the room that I was in, and there were 10 rooms. So it was something like 2,000 people, a little over 2,000 people attending from all around the world. An incredible point about the new or the COVID economy was that, of course, he's been running these seminars for many, many years live with a little less than 1,000 people. So more than twice the number of people were able to attend. Did attend in the virtual environment. All right. So the key to a product launch formula is to say that you're going to announce something, have a little bit of a run up to it, then make it available, and have a relatively short window during which the best deal is available. So let me draw a little timeline on the wall for you here. And let's have a period of, it can vary, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. I'll just put 1 week down here. Okay, 1 week. And the formula is as follows. During the 10 days or so preceding the week, you have a series of announcements that go out. They can be emails to everybody on your email list. They could be physical leaflets, flyers posted up around your local community. Wouldn't be a bad idea if you were opening a local coffee shop or something. Get the flyers out, then get fresh flyers out, in addition to the other things I'm talking about. But typically you have 3, let me put them in a different color here. You have 3, this is the launch moment here, okay, launch. And you have 3, let's put them in here, 3, 2, 1, let's do that. And these are called PLF pre-launch content. Pre-launch content. Because the notion is that if you simply open the doors and people don't know about it and they're not ready and they're not interested and they're not excited, then you get an opening. But if you say in advance that you're going to do something, then it piques people's interest. Why do you think I mentioned September the 10th to you earlier on? Because we're going to do something pretty amazing on September the 10th and you want to be there and you're intrigued. We're going to tell you one or two of the things we're going to be doing there, and then there's going to be a crazy, totally unexpected surprise on September the 10th. And by telling you that now, whether or not you're going to choose to be there, you may notice a little bit of interest developing within yourself, and that's part of talking about it in advance. Think of the biggest Hollywood movies, right? Currently, the next James Bond movie is being the trailers are out and so on. I don't know how far in advance. I mean, it was postponed because of the global health crisis. But even so, the big movies are often up to a year in advance, sometimes even more. They'll be promoting the fact that they're coming. So product launch formula in its simplest form is 1, 2, 3. So this might be in the form of an email and then maybe a video. All right, so an email saying, hey, I just wanted to share this, that, or the other with you, right? Wait a few days. Then another email. This seems so simple, all right? I know that if you're like me, God bless you if you're like me. If you're like me, there's probably a little part of you that's going, Seymour, this is too simple to make a difference. All I can tell you is that MAGFAST exists today because we followed some of the formula. We didn't actually follow it to the letter, and in my consultations with people since then, we were advised that the initial launch could have been 50 to 100% bigger than it was, and as you know, $500,000 on the first day, whatever it was, is not too shabby, but it could have been significantly bigger if we'd followed the formula. The truth was, as you know, my previous business had not worked out. I was picking myself up after, kind of crashing into the ground at the time, and simply didn't have the time or the resources to do everything that we wanted to do. But getting back on this, so 1, 2, 3 like this, and then launch. And the trick is then that you have an initial period of a week during which, if people join the party, whatever that is, they sign up for the yoga class, they contribute to the roof, they purchase your product, whatever it is. During that period, and I'm going to say a week, but again, I want to remind you, it can be 4, 5, 6 days. You can adjust the formula to suit whatever works for you, for your market, for your effort, for your project. We have what's called OC, open cart. And again, these are just slightly unfortunate phrases because they sound so specific, but let's call it OC because that's the language that Jeff uses. And during this OC period, you make it particularly worthwhile, ethically, appropriately, but particularly worthwhile for people to join you in your endeavor. So if you're doing the yoga classes, maybe there's a kind of, a lifetime 15% discount if you'll sign up in that week. Or maybe it's 2 members of your family can come free for 3 months if you sign up during this week. Only you can, neither of those. Well, the second example is kind of exciting, isn't it? It's kind of like, wow, I wanted to do it for me anyway. And if I sign up now, 2 members of my family can have 3 months. Oh my God, that can make a real difference for them. You want to try and make the deal that is only available during that week is really, really special and worthwhile. Maybe there's something that simply isn't available at any other time, some sort of bonus, some sort of extra. It can be a discount, but the critical thing is that it is only ethical and appropriate to do this if after that time, if you say this is only available for this amount of time, it must go away after that amount of time. So, by the way, this closing off piece is not something that we did originally. The thing that we're doing in September, you better bet that it'll still be great here, but it'll be out of this world here. So after that, you can still continue to offer, of course, your yoga classes. You will still accept contributions for the church roof, but the limited edition T-shirt, I Built the Roof, is only available during this week. After that, you get the gold embroidered I Built the Roof t-shirt is only available that week. The Founders Edition t-shirt is only available that week. The Structural Roof Members t-shirt only available that week. Then after that, you just get a regular, a kind of a regular Roof Builders t-shirt. So that's the formula in its essence. And there's some guidance on exactly what to do here. The critical thing about these is that they should be serving the people that you're talking to and helping to teach. Part of what we want to do, I'm going to unfold it for you, which should take a couple more minutes. Part of what we want to do between now and, but this is going to be September the 10th, right? For us, might as well write it in. Okay, so for the thing we're going to do will be September the 10th. Okay, but the idea is that up until September the 10th, which is the point at which, in our case we, but in your case you, will be asking your friends and family, your fans, your haters to come and join the party. But it's much fairer to do that if before that you've really laid out your stall, given people a chance to learn who you are, see if we're right for each other, and that kind of thing. And it doesn't have to only be here. This is the particular ramp up. This is when the kind of frequency of the emails and so on would increase. But before that, I didn't work out a color coding system before we started, so I'm a bit of a middle here. But in the days and weeks before that, there is nothing to stop you, and it's advisable to do pre-launch content. And so for us, over the coming weeks, I told you about MAGFAST Upgrade. MAGFAST Upgrade is something that we've always wanted to do, and so we're like, you know what? If we're going to ask people to, take a look at what we're doing in September, or take a look at the new stuff that we're doing in September, it seems only fair that we do whatever we can to kind of bare our souls to you between now and then, and also maybe, just maybe, if we tell you some of the things that have worked really well for us, and there's some stuff that has worked incredibly well for us, and tell you some of the crazy problems that we've encountered and had to overcome or are overcoming, maybe in some way that can serve you, whether or not you run a business of your own at the moment. Because if you don't, someone in your family probably doesn't. If your family doesn't, you probably have friends who do. And so my hope is that by now we're at the point where, yes, we're a company, so we're always going to ask folks to be our customers, but maybe in some small way we can serve you as well. All right, let me just check on my notes here. I think that's enough for now. We're going to unpack this and show you what we're doing as we go along over the coming weeks. But I want you to just imagine for a moment, because as I've been talking about this, I'm sure in the back of your mind there's been some kind of a project that you've been thinking about that you'd love to get off the ground. And as I've shown you, it could be in pretty much any aspect of life. And when you think about it now, I want you to just imagine something for a second. Maybe even close your eyes for a second, but just imagine sort of floating out a week after you've run a little program like this, and notice how much more successful it feels as a result of being mindful and thoughtful as you follow up towards the launch. I genuinely believe that anything is possible. I think life has extraordinary challenges. This year, if nothing else, has reminded us of that. And yet there's a kind of indomitable spirit that when we nurture it and we keep it alive in ourselves and in our children, really does make all kinds of things possible. The eternal optimist reporting in for duty. Okay, so a new format coming in the next few weeks. Don't worry, it'll still be Muggins here. We'll still be in this kind of environment, but we're going to give it a name. We're going to be a little more mindful about making sure that we're offering really fantastic value for you every week. And yeah, September the 10th, please put it in your calendar. There are going to be some very significant surprises, some stuff there to make you really proud that you've chosen to become a customer of ours during this early and unbelievably difficult period. September the 10th will be 4 p.m. Eastern, and you want to be there for the live event, because there'll be some stuff that happens live that won't happen during the recording. And then we're gonna do this. We're gonna have a 1 week window during which we hope, maybe even you, but certainly we know a lot of people are going to want to get in on the thing that we're doing that we're not announcing yet, because we haven't arrived at that day. Bless you. Thank you so much. Please keep yourself and your family safe. We love you for being a part of this. And this is Seymour. I'll see you next week.